All right. So I wanted to walk you through and talk about the When They See Us case study. I know there's a group that's been reaching out to get some clarification. So I'm underneath the When They See Us, the content tab, When They See Us. You have your check-in this weekend. Just to I just want to see what you're working on, what you've come up with so far, just to make sure that your groups are making progress in this. When you click on the case study assignment, you will see this that opens up, which I have opened down here. And so you have the information on different types of case studies, just to kind of give you a sense of what type of information is collected with the case studies. But this is, really what it is that your presentation and your project is based on. So whatever sources of information you choose, as long as you feel like they're valid sources, that's fine. You can pull documents from the case, articles written about the boys. Obviously, the documentary series would be one of the sources of information. And so for each of the 5 boys, you are writing about the case history, developmental effects, interventions for this project. And so that's what goes into your PowerPoint slides. So you're going to give me this case history information on each of the 5 boys, how you feel their physical, cognitive, or socio-emotional development has been affected for each of the 5 boys. And then if you were going to offer them some kind of treatment, what would it be? Would you do a psychoanalytic approach, cognitive behavioral one, humanistic? So you decide what you think the type of therapy or treatment intervention would be most appropriate for them. The overall presentation of your PowerPoint slides should be narrated. Think of just the overall design, and make sure, sometimes I've seen students do like a real rich red background with gray writing. That's super hard to read, right? The font doesn't come through that clear. So that's, when it says designs or transitions, think about what would look professional, right? When you put it together, you should have at least 10 slides per character, right? So there's 5 characters altogether. So that means you should have 52 slides. So your first slide, your title page slide, then your character slides, and then the reference slide, or if you need multiple slides for references, that's fine too. Or if you want to do transition slides between each character, that's fine too. But, minimum is about 50 slides. 52 slides is what you have. And then any references you need from you use from up here, the documentary articles you find, any kind of documents that you find online about the case and the boys' situation, you would want to reference those in APA in the last slide. The discussion board prompt, we'll talk about that in a minute, but that's a little, that's separate from the actual presentation. But this is what goes into the PowerPoint presentation that you guys are submitting. And I attached the rubric. I know there was a group that asked me about the rubric, trying to see how you guys would see the rubric. I think if I go this way, maybe. Case study. I don't know where you guys see rubrics, but there's a rubric here. So I'm going to go to course tools and rubrics. I know it's different for you guys. So this is the rubric for it. When you click on the assignment, you should be able to find it. And so it just kind of breaks down case study, the developmental effects, what the interventions are, and then just the overall presentation and narration of the slides. Okay, so you guys can read through that, but it's just, the 3 parts to the assignment. The presentation is what the rubric is based on. It's 100 points altogether. So 30 points max for the case study, 30 points towards the developmental effects, 25 points towards the intervention, and 15 points towards the overall design and narration of the slides. And then let me go back to this. So once you're done with your presentation, you guys are going to submit it. You're going to submit it here under the case study tab, but you're also going to submit it here so that way your classmates can view what it is that you came up with. Okay. And so I want you guys to be able to respond to one another. So, it's at the end of the semester. I'm giving you guys as long as I can on the assignment, but that also means that you have to turn around and, listen to another group's presentation and, comment back on what it is that they came up with and what, you guys discussed in your group versus what your classmates found when they, kind of analyzed the characters. So you're just kind of doing like a compare contrast in the boys, in regard to the boys and what it is that they experienced in here. So you don't have to comment on all the boys because I know it's a lot to get through and a lot to listen to. You have to at least discuss Corey's character. And if you've already watched the documentary, you know why I picked him over the others. But if you want to elaborate on the other characters and what they came up with, you're welcome to. But you have to at least, cover Corey's character analysis in your thoughts and comparison and stuff to what your classmates did compared to what your group did. So I'm hoping that this helps give some clarity to the assignment and what it is that you guys are doing. That you're not doing any kind of other writing portion other than you're just putting together a narrated, audio recorded PowerPoint presentation that covers all 5 characters in the series. And if you have other questions, please feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will, be in touch, and we'll see how you guys are going after this week's check-in. So I'll try and give you guys some kind of direction or feedback, depending on what you give me in the check-in process to try and help you along and see how, I can best be of service to making sure that your presentations are excellent moving forward, right? And that you have a full understanding of what's going on. So reach out as needed. And other than that, have a good weekend, and I will be in touch soon.